Jay here for Stretford Paddock. That's Joe Smith. This is Paddock Live. We're going to be getting into all the latest Manchester United news, and of course we're live. So get involved in the chat and the comments because we've got lots to speak about. A lot focusing on the manager. Obviously, that's the hot topic in a minute. Ruben Amorim, his future, what's going on there. Also, there's an article in The Athletic where it speaks about the money that Manchester United have wasted on payouts and compensation and buyout clauses of managers, including obviously, bringing Ruben Amorim to the club. That's not wasted yet because he's still the manager. He could still have success. Yeah. But if he were to leave, then we would be looking at potentially another wasted 12 million quid and whatever it is. So not happy reading. We'll be getting into all that and talking about some potential candidates. First of all, though, Joe, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Did City draw in the end?
Yeah.
That's good. That always makes me feel nice.
Bit of controversy, apparently, with
Liverpool
the late
lost last
penalty.
night.
Yeah.
Which was good. Rashford got an assist, which was good.
We're just feeding off scraps, aren't we?
Absolute scraps,
football.
yeah. Absolute scraps.
City drew with a last-minute equaliser by Monaco. Liverpool lost to Galatasaray. Whoop-de-doo.
I want tonight to be saved by some excellent puns.
Yeah.
The productions staff.
This could make up for it all.
Because we need, I think us
drag us out
here
of the quagmire.
Everyone at home needs some lovely puns, guys. So I'm hopeful you've been on your sort of best efforts tonight. Some sighing and huffing and puffing behind the camera suggests that maybe they haven't been.
Ross Murphy says Rasmus Højlund scored 2 goals.
Rasmus only got 2. I'm happy for him.
2 goals there. The old Napoli. He's doing well, isn't he?
Yes.
Right, let's get into it.
Let's get into this first one. It's about this money wasted. What we got? Good start. Here we go. 50 million down the drain. United gaffer's been sacked again. Not bad.
It's all right,
that. Yeah, it works. It does work. It's good. Well done.
Yeah.
Producer Cam.
It's better that.
Yep. Good stuff, everyone. Well done. Producer Cam's on a battery tonight, so if at some point it goes off, they're not plugged in.
Why have they not plugged it in?
Didn't fancy getting an extension. They didn't that.
Why not?
I don't know.
Right.
We'll worry about that later. This is how much Manchester United have spent on sacking managers since Sir Alex. This is according to The Athletic. Now, as it says at the bottom here, this has been slightly paraphrased. So this is all the juicy info but squashed down because to get these details in took a large chunk. So we've kind of squashed it a bit. So there you go. For almost 27 years until Sir Alex Ferguson's 2013 retirement, United avoided managerial payouts. Since then, 6 permanent managers have been dismissed at huge expense. Ferguson's staff, 2.4 million. That's not right, is it, first off? So Fergie quits and the club had to pay his staff 2.5 million quid. He should pay him.
What?
Yeah, he's lost them their jobs. It's not United's fault that Fergie quit, is it?
Yeah, but they didn't have to lose their jobs. Like, David Moyes could have come in and kept running Millenstein and Mike Phelan, and perhaps he should have done, in all honesty.
Yeah, perhaps he should have done. But
so I don't think when Fergie retired,
right,
it was like his responsibility for all the staff that works under him to be paid.
You say that, but if you were Taylor Swift's band, and you've done your tour date, and then the next band to come, the next singer that comes in the next night doesn't have to bring their own band with them. They can just use you from the night before, but they're never gonna. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Moyes, Ferguson's staff went with him because Fergie chose to leave.
Right, so Taylor Swift's performing where?
Wembley.
Right, at Wembley.
Yeah.
Right, so she does a night at Wembley.
And she's got a back. She's got
a backing singer. She's got a band, hasn't she, that she has with her. Yeah. She then leaves.
She goes to the next tour date.
Next tour date.
Yeah.
Her band don't go with her.
No, she's retired.
So she doesn't go to the next tour date. She's retired.
She's retired.
So Taylor Swift's retired.
Yeah.
So the band that are left there.
Yeah.
She should pay for them.
So the next night.
Right. So there's another gig the night after at Wembley.
Yeah, you've got Elton John.
Elton John's on the night.
He needs a band.
Right.
He could use Taylor Swift's band. They're still there from the night before.
Yeah.
But he's not going to, is he? He's going to bring his own band. Like
Probably, and I'm guessing Taylor Swift's band would be from America as well, and then we go back to America.
They're going to stick around a bit. They'll stick around if the offer's there.
Yeah,
if they're getting paid, they'll stay.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I mean? I know they're not contracted to Wembley the same way.
No.
But what I'm trying to say is the reason that they lost their jobs is because Fergie quit.
Yeah.
United have to pay 2.5 million.
It's not, though.
No, technically it's not, but realistically it is.
Because there was an element of some of them choosing not to stay on. They were offered different roles under David Moyes that they didn't think was feasible.
Interesting. So then they quit and we still had to pay them?
Yeah, because it's like almost constructive dismissal, isn't it?
Yeah.
If your job is this and we say, well, you can stay at the club, you can stay at any organisation, but we're going to change what your role is and who. And obviously, who you're working for you can't control that, but we're going to change what you do.
Yeah.
And you feel, hang on a minute,
You don't have to accept that.
No, I don't want to do that, and I don't think this will work. I think it was Rennie Merlinstein who said like that he was offered, I think, a role under Moyes, but the role was a bit of a poison chalice because he felt like it would have been very difficult for him to have the relationship he had with the players and the relationship with the manager in a way that would have been sort of constructive.
Okay.
I think that was the gist of it. So I don't really blame Fergie for that. I think it was just a culmination of...
It's just a difficult moment for the staff, isn't
and
it?
also, that's probably the least of our worries, isn't it?
Yeah, well, let's go through it. So since then, 6 permanent managers have been dismissed at huge expense. Ferguson staff 2.4 million, Moyes 4.9.
Ridiculous 6-year contracts.
Yeah, mad that we only had to pay 4.9 million to pay off a 6-year contract, though. Not bad.
Yeah.
Van Gaal 8.4, Mourinho 19.6, which
Ludicrous.
I actually cannot even believe. Solskjaer 9.1 and Ten Hag 10.4. Rangnick, again, his exit added a disputed 14.7, which I guess it's disputed, but that is absurd that it's that high.
I think part of the problem with some of these deals, some of these payouts is Mourinho, I can't remember, did he sign a new deal when we finished second?
Yeah,
You think he
signed
did?
it around Christmas.
Yeah, and then got sacked a year later. Solskjaer signed a new deal, I think, got sacked a year later.
Yeah.
Ten Hag got a new deal, didn't he? In the summer.
Got the extension. Didn't he? Yeah.
Ragnick's deal was that he was going to stay on past being the caretaker manager or the interim manager, so he was going to be like a director of football or whatever, but there was talk that Ten Hag didn't fancy him to do that. So I think that
Feels
might
a
have
lot,
added...
though, to get rid of him
Oh,
from
no,
that role.
it does. But I think that is why it's so much.
Yeah.
I agree with you. It's excessive, and we should never have been in a position where someone we got from, well, I don't know, Lokomotiv Moscow, wherever it was, he was last kicking around, ends up getting almost 15 million quid for 6 months at United, and 6 underwhelming months at that. However, I think that is the reason, is because it was like, right, you're going to come in, you're going to do a bit of gegenpressing, then you're going to go upstairs and oversee everything. And then when Eric Ten Hag came in, he was like, I don't want anything to do with this guy. So that's probably why Manchester United had to pay him out. But it is ludicrous that we paid out all that for him.
Yeah, it is. Even excluding that, the total stands at 54.9 million, still less than 1% of revenues since 2013. Now sacking Ruben Amorim, whose deal runs until 2027, would bring fresh costs. The minimum fee alone would be a 4.2 million amortisation hit in 25-26, with overall payouts likely to be significantly higher. I mean,
we've not even included Fing in this, have we? Because he's not a manager, so he don't count. How much was Dan Ashworth worth in total?
Yeah.
Because didn't we pay off Newcastle?
So 8 million or something.
Something stupid, and then pay him off because he's only here for about a week. So that's going to probably bump it up to closer to 60 million, if not over 60 million. I know it's not a manager, but he's part of the sort of hierarchy.
Yeah.
So it's just a shambles, man. And the thing with this is, right, had United done a Chelsea and won a load of trophies in the last 10 years, had we won a couple of Champions Leagues, or, I don't know, let's say 2 titles in a Champions League, you'd look at this and you'd probably go, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But we haven't.
No.
Do you know what I mean? We've won trophies. We've won, some League Cups and obviously Europa and a couple of FA Cups.
Yeah.
But considering the amount we paid out and considering some of the relative failures we've had as well, the fact that like the Ralph Rangnick one, walking away for 14.7 million for doing the square root of sod all of it and stating some obvious facts that we all knew, is unreal.
Yeah, it is absolutely mad. What are people saying in the comments? Sorry to interrupt you.
No, sorry, I shouldn't have been drinking. Pete Nichols says, can we also discuss the fact that Rasmus has started scoring again under a different manager? Ashworth is still being paid off, says Akash K. Also, someone messaged me yesterday, I think it was Vincente. It's his partner. It was his partner's birthday yesterday, so shout out to Marissa, who's a big fan of the channel. It was her 40th, I think, so happy belated birthday, Marissa. Mourinho is a contract hustler, says Witterbird. Oh yeah, a full-named Huggy. Arnold would have had a payoff. That's a good point, because I bet Arnold had a big payout, didn't he? Because he wasn't here for long. About a year, 2 years maybe. Did Woodward get a payout? I don't know.
John Murtagh?
Murtagh get a payout? I bet there's a lot who are sort of, the upper tier of Manchester United decision makers who've all had big payouts. And again, you're just rewarding failure, aren't you? Yeah. Like, if there was success, no one gives a toss. If you pay people who've done a good job, no one cares. Like, no one's going, well, we can't believe we gave Ralph Rangnick 10 million for winning the title. You'd be like, I don't give a shit, you won a title. Yeah. But when they finish like 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 15th, whatever, then people start questioning it. So that is the big problem. Akash K says, money well spent for success. Witterbird says Woodward's contract was finished. Don't forget Glazers payouts, says Nice Diet. Yes, the Glazers are the biggest everything. All this pales in insignificance into the debt and the dividends and the loans and all the other shit that the Glazers have cost us. So we're not saying that this is the only problem with United and how we've been structured. The biggest problem is the Glazers.
Yeah.
Like, if you used to do it like a fucking pie chart, there'd be one little slither that'd be this lot, and the fucking rest would be the Glazers. So we know that they've absolutely thrown Manchester United into almost catastrophe when it comes to the finances. So we're not saying that the Glazers get a pass, far from it. We're just highlighting the fact that this shows some of the sort of naivety with some of these deals. Like, you try and convince yourself as a fan, don't you? This is a good move. I remember, right, when Fergie retired and Moyes was appointed, and it was a 6-year deal, 6-year contract, his best mates with Fergie, but you're thinking, right, okay, bit weird, giving a guy who's never won out 6 years, but you know what, we'll buy into it. Yeah. I get it. Long term, he's been at Everton for 10 years. Fergie's recommended. He's obviously Fergie's sort of disowned him now, but Fergie's obviously involved. The structure's already there. This makes sense. A bit of longevity, we get it. Relatively young manager, he could be at United for another 6 years, not a drama. And then you look back in hindsight and you think, what the fuck were we thinking? Why were we doing that? Why don't we just give him a 2-year deal and see how he gets on? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Because we wanted to roll into the next Fergie.
Yeah, we did. We wanted to sort of convince ourselves and maybe
manager.
Convince everyone and him, look, this is going to be it for the next 6 years, if not longer. And do you remember how mad it was? We were still doing this and we were going, Moyes' contract's still not finished yet. Yeah. And it was like, what? Do you know what I mean? It was like, it was insane. It really was it? Oh, yeah, anyway, digress.
Should we move on to our next story then?
Go on.
What we got? We're keen to stamp out this rumour. Thoughts? It's about Gareth Southgate.
I like it.
Yeah, pretty good.
Very good, that reference to the Roy Keane stamp on Gareth Southgate. In fact, I don't even think it was a stamp on Gareth Southgate. I think Gareth Southgate assaulted Roy Keane's foot with his chest.
Wasn't very nice, was it, from Southgate?
No, he's lucky he didn't get a lot. So
now, I want to start by saying this is from the Express. I'm going to read it, but just remember that. Okay. Former England manager Gareth Southgate would turn down an offer from Manchester United if Ruben Amorim is sacked by Ineos. Since leaving his England role, Southgate has not yet returned to football and is instead focused on speaking engagements, bloody hell, motivational work and hosting a show on the BBC. It's believed that Southgate is in no hurry to return to football, but continues to keep his options open. 1 second, Jay, I apologise. He has been seen at numerous football matches and other sporting events, and has maintained close ties with some of his former FA colleagues. Southgate also has a close relationship with Dan Ashworth, who had a long-term plan to bring him to Man United during his tenure there. Despite being knocked out of the Carabao by underdogs Grimsby Town, United's management maintains full support in Amorim with no intentions to dismiss him. We need to tear the bones and the meat off of these bones. This is
focused on hosting a show on the BBC. Who's he, Graham Norton?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, he's not really interested in a manager's job because he's just got the Strictly gig.
Yeah, Des Lynam gets Man United job.
Those gigs don't come around very often. Like, what the fuck is going on?
I also love this. I love the... he's been, this is just to show his chops, his readiness to return to management, Jay. He's been seen at numerous football matches and other sporting events. What, did he go to those other sporting events by mistake, thinking they were football matches? Like, what has him being seen at Wimbledon got to do with getting another job in football? You know what? I thought he'd forgotten what sport was. But it's good to see him at the T20 Blast final, isn't it? That's probably one step back into football management. And other sporting events. He went to his daughter's hockey game. He's probably ready for the big leagues. Yeah, I'd say he's ready for the Premier League again.
Other sporting events. Yeah. Like, fucking, what are you on about?
What's that got to do with him getting another job?
Like, that's just so ludicrous. And also, Southgate also has a close relationship with Dan Ashworth.
That's going to help him get the job, isn't it?
That's like completely fucking irrelevant.
Yeah. The man who left United, 6 months ago? Yeah.
And didn't exactly leave on good terms. Was sacked because the owner thought he was a dickhead. Yeah. So you're going to get a fucking job based on his opinion, are you? He liked you, then he got sacked for his opinions, but that's going to help you get a job. Fucking get a grip.
Also, he wouldn't turn down the United job.
Would he fuck?
That's the final point to make here.
Oh my God.
There's no chance he turns down the United job if it was offered to him. Absolutely zero chance. Because realistically, what job is going to be offered to him?
I think...
Other than that. I mean, not that we are going to offer him this job, but like what
I
is
always
his level?
think with certain managerial appointments, Some of it is a chairman will go for the guy they think genuinely is the best man to manage that team, to coach that team, to get that club, to get that team performing at the best levels. Some chairman, and all chairmen have got egos, let's not forget this, will want a high-profile person. They will want someone who can maybe elevate the club a little bit in the eyes of the media, maybe has a little bit of sort of kudos around them, maybe it's like shows that your club is in amongst the big boys because you've got this name in there. That's why a lot of players, ex-players who've had sort of failings at managerial jobs but were big legends still get managerial jobs because they've got a big name, and it's like, get him in, you know what I mean? Everyone sits up and takes notice. So I think someone like in a championship club, perhaps, or maybe...
A championship club would definitely go for
Maybe there's a sort of a team struggling in the Premier League.
But West Ham kind of team.
Maybe. But I don't know, I think the trouble is even the Premier League clubs now, and also, because it's such a gamble, for starters, even the Premier League clubs now tend to do their own work with managers, don't they? They tend to go with managers. You might not even necessarily think, oh, that's the obvious choice, or they need to replace their manager, but they get it right. Look at Brighton's a good example. Many people thought Chris Hughton deserved to keep his job. They went and got in Graham Potter, then they got in De Zerbi, then they get in the youngsters at Hurtsler. Yeah, all have done a good job there. You look at Bournemouth, when Iraola came in, people looking at it and going, who's this guy? Right. Has done a fantastic job. Oliver Glasner, I think he's done well at Frankfurt. But again, you know, they went for the big name, Vieira, then they went for what they knew, someone like Roy Hodgson, and you get this guy and it's like, really? But he's done a fantastic job. So, I don't know, I think Gareth Southgate might struggle in the Premier League because a lot of the Premier League clubs do their own work, tend to go for managers they think can do a job with the team. And also, it's a massive risk with him. And you can't, as a Premier League club, you can't afford to take a big risk because you might get relegated. And when I say that, I include Manchester United within that statement. Because if we do sack Ruben Amorim, it's probably because we're going to be in the bottom half of the table. We've just finished 15th. Can we afford gambles on managers who aren't managing the Premier League for, 10, 12, 13 years
Something
now?
Like that, yeah.
And when they did manage in the Premier League, got relegated and then sacked in the Championship, have never managed a proper budget, a big budget, never managed at club level, big players with big egos. I know they've done it for the national team, but it's different because everyone's keen to play for the national team, so they sort of do as they're told a bit more. Can he go toe-to-toe with the likes of Pep Guardiola and Arne Slot and Mikel Arteta and all these other managers in the Premier League? I don't think he can. I think this would be a fucking disastrous move. Yeah, I really do. Well, what do you think?
No,
because you're someone who likes Southgate as a England
I think
manager.
he did really well for England. I think people like to downplay it, but taking England from a team that isn't even guaranteed to qualify for tournaments to, multiple semi-finals, multiple finals, that is a massive achievement. Obviously not the ultimate achievement of winning the trophy, but for for all of our lives, he's comfortably the best manager England have had. And you have to give him credit for that. But I don't see any possible way it would work at United. It just doesn't make any sense. And also, not only is he someone that hasn't got a great CV in terms of club management, etc., all the things you've just said, also his personality is a bit sort of slightly nerdy, he's a nice guy, isn't he? And at times I think he'd just get torn apart if he was the United manager. I don't think that works. I think he's too, he's a bit, I don't know, he's just a bit friendly and a bit normal. I think you need someone with a bit more presence than him.
I think one of the arguments some people make is that the pressure on the England job is similar to the pressure at United, because at England obviously you've got the whole nation and all the media and all the expectation, and you sort of similar situation in the sense that more often than not you haven't got the best team, but people expect you to win things. So in the England case, win the Euros or win the World Cup. Sometimes you might argue that actually England weren't that far off, might have even had the best team at one point, but usually they haven't. But they're expected to win things, and it's like similar things at United. It's like people expect a lot, the pressure's there, but I think the pressure at United is far greater, and it's daily. It's every fucking week you have got a game. Every week you have got a result. With England, yes, you've got tournaments, and you know. Gareth Southgate shit the bed with the Nations League, and everyone just moved on with it, didn't it? It was like, oh, that's fucking dumb, does it even matter? Like, don't worry about that. You get relegated with the Nations League. The tournaments, we'll just focus on that. Manchester United, it's weekly, it's every week. Look at what's happening with Ruben Amorim right now. 5 or 6 weeks ago, people were going, let's give this guy a chance, he's all right, forget last season. And then you lose to Grimsby, you lose a few Premier League matches, everyone wants you done. That's what had happened with Gareth Southgate. He could lose 4 out of fucking 6 games, and all of a sudden everyone goes, you're fucking shit, what are we doing? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Jim Ratcliffe and Wilcox might pull the plug. Get involved in the chat and the comments. I think, I've not seen anyone, right? I want to ask this. Is there anyone that thinks Southgate would be a good option? Is there anyone that actually thinks, hang on a minute, maybe we need a bit of beige? Yeah? Maybe that is just what fucking United need. Let's just get some absolute neutral beige fucking, 6 out of 10 person in. Like a little school teacher dude, just to get us over the fucking line so we don't get relegated. Like, is that what people are thinking?
Is he the equivalent of, do you know when you've had food poisoning?
Yeah.
And then for the next few days they tell you to just eat like rice and applesauce?
Yeah.
Is he the managerial equivalent of rice and applesauce?
I love that.
Like, we've had a really bad tummy.
Yeah.
It's just been absolute carnage under Amorim. Let's just bring in bread. Do you know what I mean? He's just boiled potato, isn't he? Maybe the footballing stomach needs that at times.
Maybe it does. Loads of no's. No chance Ross Murphy. Jim Rumpus, no way, no way. No chance, maybe rival fan, says Paddy McG. Omar Jets says Southgate, my Beck's a good option as interim, maybe. Thumbs up. Southgate is a cough syrup, says Steve M. Paddy McG says akin to a Rivita. D. Trizzy says yes, I'd have Southgate. I don't know if some of these people are joking. Keith Kelly says how do I put this? Fuck no. Akash K says he hasn't got the personality for this job. You can't ignore that. Hit the like button, please, people. You might not like what's going on at the club, but you can like this video.
Yes. Should we get to our next story?
Yes.
What we got next, Pun? Come on. I'm nervous. Popping the cherries bubble. What do you make of that? Sort of 2 puns in one there. Potentially. One of them was a bit sexual.
Yeah.
One of them was less sexual.
Yeah, it's alright.
Makes me feel a bit uneasy.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I don't know why they've gone for 2 puns in one.
Trying to get it all going, aren't they?
Yeah.
They just need something.
Yeah.
They need a big win.
Yeah.
After last week.
Yeah.
Harry's not sure about it. Is it yours? Yeah, a little bit sexual, a little bit pushing the boat out a bit. Yeah, sure. It's fine. It's not too bad. It's not bad.
No,
it works. This is according to Team Talk. Lovely. Man United, a dream opportunity for Andoni Iraola, as sources reveal whispers growing louder for monumental move. So much text here, let me get through all of this bad boy. Bournemouth manager Andoni Iraola would love to manage Manchester United if the chance comes up, sources have told Team Talk, with the Spaniard ready to swap the Vitality Stadium for Old Trafford as Ruben Amorim comes under intense pressure. In the ever-shifting landscape of Premier League management, Iraola has become a name synonymous with ambition and tactical acumen. This is written by AI, and I'm 100% sure of that. The Spanish coach, currently at the helm of Bournemouth, is attracting interest from a multitude of clubs across Europe, including Man United. Sources close to the situation have revealed that Iraola is particularly high on United's shortlist should they decide to part ways with their current manager, Amorim. Iraola, with his impressive track record of overachieving on a modest budget, stands out as favourite among the Manchester United decision makers. This is according to Team Talk. Thoughts?
I don't know with Iraola. I mean, he's obviously done a very, very good job at Bournemouth. There's no denying that. Can he make the step up to Manchester United? Can he come into United and turn us around? Will he be given the time that he needs to turn us around? I'm not sure. To be honest with you, it would feel like a bit of an odd move if we went for him. I get it in a lot of ways because you go, look, this is a guy that's gone to a club with far fewer resources than Manchester United. He's got them playing a certain way. They've had some big results. They're a team, Bournemouth. They are. Do you know what I mean? Even this season, was it Spurs? Was it a 1-0 hammering? I think they were just absolutely dominated Thomas Frank Spurs after they'd won the first 2 games, and everyone was sort of hinting that maybe they could win him with a chance of a title challenge, and they played him off the park. So I get it. I get why people are looking at him, and I get why, regardless of how much sort of credit you give to this story, there probably are a lot of clubs looking at him because he's doing very well in arguably the world's toughest league. However, do I see him coming into United and being the guy? Probably not. Probably not, to be honest with you.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course you can. You can do whatever you want.
Would you be, and this is going to sound mental, but I do sort of mean it. Would you be more keen on signing him if he was sexier?
I'll be honest with you. Did not see that coming. Did not see that question coming at all. Genuinely. I thought, I was about to defend, I thought you were going to say if he was English. I thought, where are you going with this one? Since when have I been that guy? But if he was sexier...
What I mean is, apologies, I mean that in the kind of...
I mean, for starters, he's not that bad, is he?
No, but what I mean, I don't just mean looks, but I do mean looks. But if he had a bit more sort of a swagger, a bit more of a, you know, a look to him that you thought, yeah, that guy's got manager sort of Michael Carrick in the dugout.
Who's the guy out of
type
Indiana
vibes.
Jones?
Because he looks a
like
bit...
someone, he looks like an actor.
He looks a bit like Harry Maguire.
Right, there's an actor.
He's got that...
That's it.
Yes.
It
looks a bit
nailed
like Alfred,
it. Thank you.
It looks a bit like
10 out
Alfred
of 10.
Molina.
Yeah, I was Googling it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't remember what else Alfred Molina had been in. He's been in Promising Young Woman. But I didn't think you'd get it.
But if he had a real kind of smooth, suave, Amorim-esque kind of manner and look, would that change things?
No,
you know.
I think you need to move away from that. If Amorim goes, I think
But is
part of the problem has been, the reason we've all bought into Amorim, is he is suave, he is charismatic, he is sort of jovial and funny in press conferences, and it's had us over a little bit. Because we've all bought into it. Me and you've sat in a room with Amorim,
I've still bought into
and
it.
you still like, he starts talking and you're like, yeah, I love this guy.
I watched that interview with Owen Hargreaves last night, I thought, I'm in.
Yeah, that's just what I mean.
I'm back.
Like, and then you'll watch us fucking lose to Sunderland, and you'll be like,
it's
oh
gotta
my
go.
God. So, I don't mind someone who's a bit boring, a bit, you know, spends his evenings watching fucking other football matches and obsessing over tactics and all that. That's fine. My main concern with Iraola is, and I know we're shit, but is this jump from Bournemouth to United too big?
Yeah, it is a massive jump.
Because I know it's Premier League, and he's got that experience, but you're coming into a fucking United side with a lot of egos, despite the fact we're shit.
Yeah.
You've got Champions League winners in there. You've got Premier League. Have we got any Premier League winners? In fact, I'm just making that up. Don't think we have we? Well, there's one thing less to worry about.
Johnny Evans is gone now.
Tom Eaton, was he about kicking him out?
I think so.
Right. You've got people that have won trophies and FA Cup winners.
Yeah.
You've got people that play for the country, big egos, all the rest of it. They're at one of the biggest clubs in the world. You're coming in, you're trying to get them to buy into what you're doing. Can he do that? Can he win them over? Maybe he can, because one good thing we could say at Ruben Amorim, he seems to have shifted out a few of the bad apples. Yeah. So maybe this squad is a bit more receptive to someone coming in who isn't necessarily the biggest name. However, I do feel as though if United were to announce Iraola tomorrow, I'd be a little bit underwhelmed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'd get behind him. I'll always get behind a new Manchester United manager, but I don't feel like I'd be. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just not quite done enough. Not quite been at a big enough club before.
Wazim Afsal says Martinez is a World Cup winner as well. There you go. You got World Cup winners, mate.
Should we move on to our next story?
Go on then.
What we got? PS Genius making his mark. I quite like that. It works.
What's this about?
United trying to get some friendlies in Saudi Arabia.
What's PS Genius, sorry?
He used to work for PSG.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. It's good that, yeah.
Yeah, it works that. Well done. Yeah, good stuff. Shall I read it?
Yeah, go on.
This is according to The Athletic, Daily Mail via The Athletic. Man United are exploring a money-spinning mid-season friendly in Saudi Arabia to raise revenue. What's that short for?
No, it's a quote.
Oh, the whole thing's a quote. Correct. Well done. Good point. According to The Athletic, Red Devils are exploring the prospect due to having multiple free midweeks in the season. Man United lost in the Europa League final to Tottenham last season, saw the club miss out on a 85 million windfall, which would have come from qualifying for the Champions League. A friendly in Saudi Arabia could reportedly prove lucrative for the Red Devils, while it would offer warm weather training in the winter. Reigning European champions PSG had held a mid-season friendly against the Saudi Pro League 11 in Riyadh back in January 2023. The Man United Chief Business Officer Mark Armstrong, as we see pictured here, who was appointed in February, had been PSG's Chief Revenue Officer at the time. Daily Mail Sport understands no agreement has been reached over a friendly in Saudi Arabia to date. It's the sort of thing that we're going to do, innit? I get it. But then part of me does think, like, well, what's the point in this whole, like, oh, we've got a week between games thing if you're going to start chucking games in? Because I know that at some point you can play the Saudi 11s, which is something. But also, we've seen these mid-season friendlies. Didn't Man City do one last year against like Barcelona or something?
Probably.
We've seen them. They were right at the start of the season. But we've seen these before with big teams. And once United start playing, if United played, and this is mad, but if United, let's say it was next week, whatever, Man United play a friendly against Real Madrid, and we lost heavily, that would literally go towards Amorim getting sacked. Like, obviously not the same as any Premier League game, but if we just got absolutely blown away by let's say we played Benfica or something and lost 3-0, it could be a friendly, but it's literally going to be like, and we lost to Benfica, I know it doesn't count, but you can imagine people saying that already. It feels like it's a bit of a sort of, not lose-lose, but I just think, what if people get injured? What if we get heavily beaten and it sort of affects morale? Also, you're flying sort of 7 hours. How far is it to Saudi Arabia? We've flown to Dubai, which is not too far away, 7-8 hours away, isn't it?
Something like that.
It's not exactly nearby for a midweek sort of nip. I don't know. I just think, how much do you have to make for that to be worth it?
We've done these trips, haven't we? Like when I remember Ollie took the team to Dubai for some woman training.
Yeah.
So like,
but wasn't that over the Christmas break when they had 2 weeks off?
Yeah. So it depends when it is. Like if there's a bit of a break and you did it then, I don't know. It depends how much money's on the table as well. Is it going to be money that affects Manchester United? Does it change? Do you get enough money from it so you can go, look, now we can afford to buy someone that we couldn't afford to buy if we didn't do this? Then maybe people get into it. I'm not overly keen on United fucking off halfway across the world in the middle of a season to play meaningless games. And I agree with what you're saying. I mean, we're shit enough as it is without throwing any more fixtures in. Do you know what I mean? Even the one game a week ain't helping us. We're still fucking rubbish. So, I don't know. I'd have to see the sort of, the devil in the detail, but I'm not, at the minute, I'm just apathetic to everything.
And just focus on winning actual games.
Yeah, before
rather
we
than
decide.
adding more in fake games.
Instead of
cash.
losing to Brentford, let's go and lose to fucking Real Madrid across the world.
And people might compare it to a pre-season tour, which you say, what's the difference? The difference is that is to get you fit for the Premier League games. We're not losing fitness at one game a week.
No.
The whole point is we actually should be properly fit for each game. And if we needed this for the lads are actually, we can see by the metrics, their data and their fitness is actually going down just because they're playing only one game a week, then I could understand it. But as far as I'm aware, no one is saying that. It's actually great that we've only got one game a week. So stuffing more in there just for the sake of a bit of cash feels a little bit unfair to me.
Yeah, sorry, I've missed some super chats here. I should have read them earlier. Joshua Bellwater says, I wonder if you asked the club how much they'd pay per point in the league, how much would it be? Whitterbird says, would you rather have an interim or a new manager?
Amorim work out.
Sorry?
Just Amorim work out.
Amorim work out, fair enough. I'll name this podcast Later's gifted a Stretford Paddock membership. Thank you to you.
On that question, how much would teams pay per million? How much would you pay per point? The answer's going to be absurd, isn't it? It would be something like maybe 10 million.
Per point?
Yeah, or 7-8 million. If you think if you're a relegation team and you need 40 points to stay up, 4 times 7
is 28.
280 million, you'd probably pay that. Probably just about worth it. And if you're a Premier League trying to win the league, let's say 100 points just to make it easy, that's 700 million. That's what a lot of top team squad costs.
Yeah.
To win the league, you probably would, which is mad. But it's probably somewhere in that ballpark, isn't it? 7-8 million.
Yeah.
Per point.
I mean, look we've spent billions to not win out or not win the Premier League.
Yeah.
So if we were to say, someone said you're going to give you, I don't know, fucking 20 million a point. So what's that if you wanted a fucking
2 billion. Yeah.
You go, all right, well, we spent 2 billion and got a fucking Premier League title, got to 21 before the Scousers. Would you take it?
Probably just about, unless it bankrupt.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on how much money you've got and what you've got to play with and what it mean. I wouldn't want to bankrupt the club, obviously. Go on then.
Go on, what we got? Can he keep him away? Darren Fletcher gets plenty of plaudits inside Carrington, especially after he returned to work just a day after having knee surgery. Can he keep him away? I like that.
Yeah, I do.
It's got a Scottish. It
keep
brings the
him
Scottish
away?
accent in with it.
Say it in a Scottish accent.
Can he keep him away?
Say it in a Scottish accent.
Yeah, can he keep him away?
Yeah, very good.
Is that all right?
Yeah, it's very good.
Good stuff there, lads. Well done.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. Darren Fletcher gets plenty of...
What was that?
What was that?
From Ben. From Ben, what were you... He went, yay.
I didn't do anything.
You did. You went like that. I saw you.
That was Ben's to be fair. That was all Ben.
It was a good one, that. This is from the Daily Mail. Fletcher sustained cartilage damage in recent Manchester United Legends match away to Celtic. Right. I don't even think we need to read the rest of this. The reason he's come straight back is because he got fucking injured fucking about. That's why he's had to come straight back, because he's embarrassed, innit? Because, I can't come in today. Why? I'm playing a friendly in Scotland and I've hurt my knee. No, you're coming in. He's the manager of the under-18s. He doesn't have to do a lot of running. He can walk about, and he's pissed about, and he's had a bit of a laugh with his mates, hasn't he? And now he thinks he's going to get a day off work for it. I think he's just embarrassed. That's all I think there is to
That's
this.
That's the future manager of Manchester United you're talking about now. Show some respect.
What do you think's happened?
Well, what you've just said.
Yeah.
And also, his
You
kids,
show some respect.
his kids are playing there as well, aren't they? So it's like, you've got to fucking turn up, haven't you?
Yeah.
His kids are at the under-21s, aren't they now?
Yeah.
He's managing the under-18s, so he's not managing his lads. But obviously he went to the under-21s. He went to watch his son Jack play from the 21s against Athletic Bilbao. Yeah, I mean, happens to us all, Darren. You still think you've got it, and then you haven't anymore. Before you know it, you need surgery. Do you think Darren Fletcher could be a potential future Manchester United manager?
Yeah, won't rule it out. But I don't think he's anywhere near that right now.
No, I think his best bet would be some sort of interim job.
Yeah.
If he was like, look, maybe if Amorim sort of got to the stage of it was like near the end of the season and it still wasn't working, and then they were like, we're fucking 14th for whatever, and he just went, look, we're gonna have to get rid. There's 10 games left. Let's just get someone in, just to get us over the line. Maybe he could come in or something like that. I don't know. I think there's a couple of ways I could see Darren Fletcher being an interim manager. It's similar like Carrick did it, didn't it? When he was like manager for about a fucking month, or Giggs has done it for a little while, something like that. Because he ticks a lot of boxes. Darren Fletcher obviously did very well as a player at Manchester United and grafted to get himself in a team and to have success there. Has been at the club for a little while, has been on the coaching staff for a while, has now gone to the under-18s and so far has smashed it there as well. Seems to be a popular figure. Whenever you speak to anyone associated with Manchester United who deals with Darren Fletcher, they've all got positive things to say about him. There's no one who's like, because sometimes you hear it, don't you? People like, you used to hear a lot about John Mercer and people like that. You never hear that with Darren Fletcher. Everyone seems to like him and seems to like working with him. So, obviously, wouldn't be beyond the realms of possibility.
Nope.
Akash K says Fletcher has the Scottish fire too. Steve Out says get Keane and Neville in and let them see what actually is going on. It might shut them up for a week. I like that.
Interesting.
Right, anything else?
Yeah, what we got? The Italian Cobb.
Brilliant.
Yeah, really good.
That Harvey's.
Well done,
I love that.
Yeah.
So simple but
it's
effective.
Really good. Very good. This is according to the Mail. It seems no player would benefit more from a change of manager than Kobbie Mainoo. His lack of match sharpness was clear at Brentford on Saturday when he lost possession in stoppage time, allowing United's opponents to break and kill the game off with a third goal. If Amorim keeps his job until January, it would be surprising if Mainoo didn't make another attempt to leave his boyhood club. If so, keep an eye on Napoli and the two Madrid clubs. Confidential understands that Napoli would have been Mainoo's first choice if United had given him the green light to go. The Italian club wanted to sign him and he was keen to link up with former United teammates Scott McTominay and Rasmus Højlund in Naples, but there will be interest from a number of other top clubs. Given more time to plan a move, don't rule out Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid being among them. There's some big names there, all of which are doing better than us, are performing better than us in bigger competitions than we are. It seems a shame, not just a shame, it seems a crime that Kobbie Mainoo could leave and join a better club than us simply because we don't want to give him minutes.
I mean, it's just a bit of a mess for a lot of players at Manchester United at the minute, and I don't know what's going on. You've got one game a week. Obviously, Mainoo's had, was it half against Burnley, obviously played against Grimsby, half an hour against City, 2 minutes against Chelsea, and then the 15 minutes, whatever it was, at Brentford, which didn't end well, obviously, with the third goal and his involvement in it. I look at Mason Mount as well. He's in and out of the team. I know, like, he started quite a few games, but it just makes you think that when everyone's fit, what is this team? Who's in it? And I don't like this chopping and changing that we keep doing in terms of within the game. I think it was Micah Richards, and I hate agreeing with Micah Richards, but he made a good point about the Brentford game. The amount of changes within that system, within that team, did you have like fucking Mason Mount at wing back at one point and Bumo dropping in at midfield? It's just like everyone's changing every 5 minutes, and it just seems a bit messy. And I just think if you're Mainoo, you're not getting starts really in the Premier League. You don't really know where you fit in. Don't forget, if Casemiro had been fit at the weekend, there's a good chance Mainoo wouldn't have even got any minutes. Or, you know, if I don't know, I just don't know. I just don't want to see him go on a permanent move. That's my main worry, because I think if he went on loan, that would be bad enough, because I actually think we could use him this season. I think he should be staying at Manchester United, fighting for his place, and I think he should be playing, to be honest. But letting him go on a permanent move would be insane, especially if it's because he's not fitting in Amorim's system, when there's so much doubt around Ruben Amorim at the minute. Yeah. It'd be like,
I can't imagine they'd do it.
You look back and you go, we fucking got rid of Kobbie Mainoo for a manager who lasted, a month after Kobbie Mainoo had signed for Napoli. What an idiotic idea. So, listen, I hope Mainoo stays. I hope we try and just get a settled team as well, and I hope he's part of it. What do you think?
No, I completely agree. It's just, my brain just doesn't think he will leave, if I'm honest. I can't imagine him actually going. Like you said, I could see a loan potentially happening while we sort of figure something out under Amorim, give everyone a bit of time to sort of, you know, Amorim to kind of prove himself right, Mainoo to keep himself fit, or, like you said, Amorim goes the way that it seems like he's going to, and then Mainoo comes back into the team. But again, we might get another manager who don't fancy him, because if Amorim doesn't, it's possible that someone else doesn't. But I do think that's very unlikely, and especially once we buy someone in the middle, I think his chances of playing go up greatly as well. I think one of the big problems for Mainoo is, I know we all want him to play, but it isn't, even for big fans of him like we are, it's not obvious to me who he should be starting next to every week.
Yeah.
Because I think Bruno and Mainoo could work against some teams, but again, not really. Him and Ugarte does make some sense, but we saw that kind of get, not picked apart, but they struggle with some of the pressure that Everton in pre-season put against them, and I think the manager worries with that. Mostly Ugarte, admittedly, but and again with Casemiro at times, I think the pace of those two wouldn't quite work. So I do think that finding someone to go next to him is just as important as him playing for me, because I think he needs a partner in there personally.
I wish two things happened. I wish him and the manager could maybe have a chat that went somewhere, because I think the last time they had a conversation it didn't lead to anything. I wish he'd sign a new deal. That could sort of shut everything up. Yeah. If he went, right, here's a new deal, he's signed it, he's here for the next 5 years or whatever. And also, then you can think, look, if I'm Mainoo and you signed a new deal, if you had that security where the club went, well, we want you, we rate you, we fucking love you, here's a new deal, you're on decent dough, not fucking silly money, 240k a week, whatever, but competitive wage for a 20-year-old England international. And he went, look, Casemiro is 30 odd years old, he ain't going to be around, for much longer. Bruno even, there's question marks about Bruno's longevity in this side. Is he going to end up moving? Some people thought he should have moved last summer. I don't. However, that move could happen in the future. We just don't know what's going to go on there. We don't know what's going to go on with Manuel Ugarte. The jury's still out on a £50 million signing who's not really done what we wanted him to do. And every time Scott McTominay does something well, people go, fucking never should have let Scott McTominay go. So there's question marks there. Then you've got others like, I know it's a different position, but someone like Mason Mount's in his third season. What's the future hold for him? Yeah. There's lots of question marks around a lot of midfielders.
Casemiro is leaving this summer.
He is.
Almost certain. His contract runs out this summer. He's gone.
Yeah.
So if nothing else, or you know, I get everything you're saying. Could, but I think just if you just say to him, look, Casemiro's gone this summer. If nothing else, you can take that spot. And obviously, you still have the Bruno conversation. But I just think it's such a big thing for him to stay. Not just for what he represents, but also just how good he is and the type of player he is. He's such a joy to watch. Yeah, it'd be such a shame.
It saddens me as well when I just say, like, it comes down to, you know how good Mainoo is. You know what his skill set is. You know he's fantastic on the ball. You know he's fantastic as well in tight spaces. And you know he can receive the ball from defence. He can get the game going. You know he can do that well. He's got a good bit of skill on him getting past players as well. And it's like with these arguments, oh, he needs to get quicker. He needs to get more athletic. No, he doesn't. And that's not what players do. I'm not comparing Mainoo to Scholes. I'm saying about Scholes. You couldn't make Paul Scholes suddenly become quicker and fucking cover more ground and become a different type of person than he is. You know his skill set and you fucking work with that.
Look at the midfields that we've just watched tonight in that Barca PSG game. they're not full of athletes.
No.
You've got the likes of Pedri, you've got Vitinha, you've got, who else was playing? Dani Olmo was playing in there. You've got other players. They're not big, long, striding, physical monsters. They're average-sized technical players who are very willing runners. You've got Frankie de Jong, who covers ground fantastically well, but not because he can run 100 metres in 9 seconds, because his willingness is there, because he reads the game so well. That your first 5 yards is the first yard's in your head, and Mainoo can learn that and can understand the role, and he'll appear quicker and he'll get caught for pace less often. But the top teams in the world, I mean, again, the Premier League is slightly different, but they're not all entirely full of big, 100-metre sprinters.
No.
They're not. You could do with one just as an option, but I think Mainoo can certainly work, and he's not so slow that he's just ruled out of contention for any top team.
I hate this argument, we need to get him quicker
Look
now.
at City's midfield is a great example. For the last 10 years, tell me the big, long-striding, marauding centre mid that they've had. I know Rodri's a tall guy, and he's not a sprinter up and down athlete. Fernandinho, he was a bit quicker, but again, he was someone that read the game incredibly well. And then next to him, you'd have Bernardo Silva, who couldn't be less athletic if he tried.
Yeah.
De Bruyne, who covers ground really well, but doesn't have that top-end pace. No. And then you'd have other players coming in and out. Gundogan, again, another one. He's not a rapid player.
No.
You don't have to have that.
No,
you just have to have a midfield that works together and that is intelligent. So I think he kind of, I don't know, I feel sorry for Mainoo, as we've spoken about millions of times, but I just want to find a way for him to play.
No, I agree. I think John Neal's in the chat as well. Good to see John. Yeah, I agree with everything you just said there, to be honest with you. Any more for any more?
Yes, final story of the night. Bit of a positive one. My last man standing.
It's decent, that.
Yeah, I think that works. I like that. Yeah, good stuff. Malacia back training with the first team. This is going to say the BBC, but it's just a fact. Manchester United defender Tyrell Malacia has returned to first team training. Malacia was the one remaining member of the bomb squad, exiled by head coach Ruben Amorim at the start of pre-season, who did not get a move away from Old Trafford. United sources say the plan had always been to reintegrate players still at the club, and Malacia's return is not connected to any injuries or loss of form. The Netherlands international spent the second half of last season on loan at PSV Eindhoven and was linked to a deadline day move to Spain this summer. His time at Old Trafford has been scarred by injury. It remains to be seen if Malacia will be involved in Saturday's home game with Sunderland. I don't think there's too much to be said on this. I don't expect him to get a lot of minutes. It always felt a little bit unfair that he was part of the old bomb squad, but we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Fair play to him for working hard and getting back in the sort of the training group, though. But again, I don't expect this to amount to many minutes after the performances we saw post-injury.
You've just said everything I was going to say, so yeah, I can't agree more.
Good on him.
Steve Out says, Malacia suits Amorim, won't look to start games and can be brought on for 7 minutes when we're losing. Chris Griffith says, I like him, always smiling. He's just got lousy choice in dots. Yeah, that was the issue on it. Joseph, always a pleasure, never a chore.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother. We're going to be back tomorrow. We're going to have me, Joe, Howson and McCullough for Off the Bar. So make sure if you're not doing so already, you are subscribing to the channel. Check out the merch as well. We've got some Paddock merch. There should be a link in the description. We'll put a quick link in the chat as well. Go and check that out. And if you're not doing so already, go and check out the Sloppy Joe's podcast, where you can see him and some other funny people on that. That's been Joe Smith. I'm Jay Marty. This has been Paddock Live. Thanks for watching.